And it is time again for the Unity editor. So what we're going to do in the next hour is find about strings, because we do have a project there.
Face judgment.
Face judgment. And we're going to face judgment there. Good. Good. How do we start this out? Let's find out about the folder. How about that? Empty project, inventory learning, infinite open world. Sci absent light. That is what we're trying to do. So we're going to make a safety copy because we are first of all going to use a new editor version. Very probably. You're running low on space, says a fat cat. Space is expensive. We don't have much money, fat cat. We prioritize. We didn't even buy an expensive graphics card. It is what it is. So HD rendering pipeline, probably not in the cards. So we're going to call this... The Lightcore one we didn't do anything with, right? Yeah, we try to add something in there. But yeah, let's get rid of it. Good. Why is it not in the recycle bin? It is good. Absent light copy. This is going to be the Lightcore one, because that is our dream game. Open world, base building, stealth action, RPG, looter, shooter? Not a looter, it's stealth action. Stealth action looter RPG. Yes. Whatever. This is just a dream that everybody has, right? Making their own game, and it's a mishmash of all genres. Tutor, says the fat cat, is a tutor. Good. Empty project. New project. Where the heck is our version here? Don't know, but let's add in a project from disk. It's gonna be the Lightcore one, and we open it up, and hopefully they're gonna ask us. No, they're not going to ask us what version. What version? We did download a version, did we not? Because this is the version that has a problem, right? Where's our version overview? In the licenses? No. In the installs? Unity 6.5 supported. 6.5, and this is the wrong one, right? This is, yeah, this is 0.3. Speaking of dreams, I'm going to take 15, says a fat cat. Because it's so exciting, I know. You're gonna have a little bit of a sleepy time. That's good news. Manage. Add modules. Show in Explorer. Uninstall. Let's uninstall the old one. It's 8 projects though. Don't want to uninstall. Magic. Manage. Add modules. No, please do not. But this is how you do that, huh? Unity 6. Official releases. Locate. Editor. Maybe we can start it up. Buttercup. And load a project. Is already installed. Yeah, I don't care. I want to run it, man. So maybe we click on this. Oh, no. Clicking is wrong. Clicking is wrong. You just want to open it up with a certain editor. Show next to add command separate system connect to Unity connected source remove project. Project not connected. Doesn't do this. Configuration. Yes, I know this. Update editor. We did update the editor. We now want to bring it over and see if it works. If it works as smoothly as it did before. Because if it does not, we're going to go back to the old one and see what we can do there before we dub around the editor version. There we go. Open with 6.5. Are you sure you want to change? Yes. Good. Yeah. This is different. Ooh, brand new editor. Yes, we allow the Unity. And we allow the licensing agent. Older version. Detected change in the graphics API, yep. Deprecated, that's also what we wanted to look up. The built-in render pipeline is deprecated. And you write it like this, and we wonder how that is pronounced.
Deprecate.
Deprecated. We were correct. Because we did see some YouTube content creators say depreciated. Which is... does this exist? Depreciated? Does this word exist? Depreciate, to lessen the price. To write it off, to think of speak of little of worth, belittle synonym. Yeah, I think they just confused us. Some content creators there. Deprecated is the correct, of course. Good. Unity engine takes forever to load up. Importing. Maybe the problem is because they're rewriting the project for this. Not sure. So now we're gonna look handle lots of strings in Unity. How can I store a lot of strings for a word game? Strings and text menu. Large amounts of strings to be used, but how to store them? Yes, this is what we want to know. Have I thought about a few ideas? Which one is most secure? What? What do you mean by secure? This is crazy. This is crazy. Our question was immediately the first question here. Most secure system on a server? No. If you store text machine in any form, moving text over different stages, no impact on security-wise. No more secure. Yeah, this is not our question. Secure. How to handle a lot of similar data, like a big list of strings. Yep. Let's go to Reddit. Big list of strings. JSON. We are fearing that this was the correct answer. Strings randomly selected from list and placed on the now I need to output the string need to read right now. Strings are one line of code that's a very bad place I want to read because I need to often know the best for either using scriptable objects or JSON. What would be the best option in coding digital big attached values like points and y? JSON is really flexible, great, we'll do that, thank you. Comment deleted. I meant there's a hardcode list of more than 100 lines in a class. Huh? Good. Is our game working? Why is it still loading? Good. And in case you're wondering what the heck is this game even? So it's an open world it's an open world stealth action looter base building RPG. That's what it is. And it's also instantiated, so it's not only open world, it also has a bunch of instances. Good. So you start the game out with a mini game, and the mini game is creating a character. So what you do is you pick out your gender, your race, your class, your heritage, and then a figure if applicable, and a size if applicable. And then the type, we're not even sure if we should do this. Laborer, warrior, crafter, scholar. Actually, maybe this is not bad, the type. It's not bad. If you switch the race, then also everything here. We did work a little bit on this. But we don't like actually how this all looks. The type, the font is not great. So anyways, the idea is you pick out anything you can pick out. For example, if you pick out human, then your size is going to be childlike automatically. And your figure is going to be a regular, because you're starting out with a very young age, and then you age up, and everything you picked out, like a class, like a character class, and a heritage, and a type, that is going to then give you a chance of rolling your stats better, and that's going to give you a hard-coded list of skills as soon as you age up. And when you hover over the age up, you're going to see or you immediately, if you pick out, you're going to see a +5 on mind, for example. If you pick here a settler child that has grown up in a lab setting, was a laborer, so you're going to get, if you click this, or click out of here. Wait a minute. Ah, this is good. The right click is closing it up. Man, we did get some code done here. Character was created. Yeah, if we close the thingy, how do you close the character screen? Ah, yeah, C for character screen. Then you see nothing here in the 3D world, and you should immediately, then this moves out, and then you see the character there. Or if you have lots of information here, then everything else needs to gray out. Like here, if you click over there and you cannot read correctly, so there's a lot to do. And right now we're just really bummed out about the type, about the font. It just doesn't look good, even if we gave it shadow. And we have to put all the it doesn't exist. Keep the file. No, don't keep it. Don't keep it there. We have to put everything here into the old editor. And see how it looks. Also, yeah, we have all the scripts in the editor, and the scripts hold a lot of strings, and we should do JSON instead for all the strings. So we have to learn how to do that. Good. I don't know where we start, but we start with explaining. So you age up, and you're gonna click here on erase. Boop. You're gonna be an alien settler. You're not gonna be settler here. But if you're a human settler growing up in a lab as a laborer, as a young child, so you start with 5 years. Then it should say 5 plus 5, and it should say mind 5 plus 5, and then you click age up, and then whoop, everything changes, and then you can just begin adventuring, or wonder if we should begin adventuring at 5 years. That's a bit too young, I guess. 10 years or so. Begin adventuring should be grayed out, or it should be read something in between a line, and then when the player hovers over description not found, it's going to say instead age up as many times as you want before adventuring, right? And then you age up once to create your character, and if you want to go further, you can give the 10-year-old a different job. They can become a warrior, they can become a crafter, and then you age them up, or you immediately begin adventuring childlike. That's of course fine because it's a stealth action game, and you can easily sneak past any bad actors, and then you can find a gun somewhere and snipe them from somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, you can age up, and if you have the right decisions here, if you're in the right decision making, you can become an immortal character as well. And that's the minigame, becoming an immortal character. You can become an immortal human, which is then going to be a vampire. You can become an immortal alien, just some powerful alien. And you can become an immortal clone, which has a lot to do with psionic powers. And they're going to just put their soul inside of a very hard egg, because the clones in this game are humanoid, but they do lay eggs, and then they're going to be grow in vitro, and then this egg is going to be somehow become a new clone, and that's the immortality here, while the vampire immortality is working differently. And game mechanic wise, you just have to play a different character once, and then you can become the other guy again, because you can go into an instantiated map, and then your base keeps doing what the base is doing for a certain amount of time. The robot can easily be immortal just by uploading their consciousness. Very easy. Demon immortality is the easiest thing. If you have seen that one movie with Denzel Washington, then you know how immortal this demon is. And there are other demons. So if you start out as a demon, 5-year-old demon, and I don't know, some lower form, then they of course are not immortal. So you have to find out by aging up until you get the option, and you can also take some damage here if you the chances. Like for example, you can age up, and then you have the chance here. Somewhere is going to say chance of upbringing. So this heritage is going to change into upbringing, and the upbringing is going to change into early years, for example, and then the early years are going to change into prime, and then the prime is going to change into I don't know, some other period of a lifetime. And here's going to say what kinds of possibilities there are, and what kind of percentage. So you can become becoming a vampire percentage is going to be very, very low as a child, because vampires don't want to create another vampire that is of childlike figure, because they're not going to age up anymore, and they probably want to get them in their prime. So you're going to age up until prime, and then you get the option as a human to become a vampire. But only if you did the chance is going to just go higher, depending on what you get there. So then there's going to be a chance percentage, and that's going to be the mini game. And we have to do this, of course. But what we also have to do is get all the written stuff into. Now, somebody gave you some animations, and they deemed it fit to put their name in there in the folder instead of the name of the asset, so we renamed it. But then there is the non-mono scripts. Interesting. That is something we did. We want to have the character in a multiplayer script, or in a simple class here. How come there's still more? Oh man, oh man, yeah, we have still a lot of stuff here in our. Want to make it really enums. I think this might be in here as well. Character selector, character, yeah. Good. So that's just a class with all the class information in current skills, base skills, temporary skills, skill bonuses, skill melee, malices. Maybe we should, because melee, I don't know if this is readable. Then we got an enums script here, just to put them all in one thing. Then the scenes is a start scene. Then we have some packages. Visual Studio Editor, that's not good. That is really bad. Package management. Package manager. Built in, I think it's built in actually. No, it's not. Search Unity registry maybe? Visual Studio, yeah, here it is. Update, locate, manage, customize, or remove. Good. Let's remove this. What else do we need? 2D Sprite, we have the 2D Sprite package installed. Will there be a test after this? Should I be taking notes, says a fat cat. That's funny. 2D Sprite user interface. So first things first, we have to find out how to store all these freaking strings into something else. Into a JSON file probably. Because let's see if we can find this. UI. Fonts, prefabs, waste, backgrounds, boxes. Because where are they? Drop down proper guard object script, select any entry. Player input, label text, info text. Yeah, we just have a C# script there. And there we put in all the text so far. I mean, if it works, it works. If we structure it readable. Could be nice. But we could also read a tutorial about JSON. So maybe we go there first. JSON Unity tutorial. Hopefully written, hopefully cat-like. JSON serialization. Maybe we should read the manual first. Let's do that then. JSON utility class to convert Unity objects to and from JSON format. For example, you can use JSON serialization to interact with web services or to easily pack and unpack data to a text-based format. Or from a text-based format. JSON serialization uses the notion of structured JSON. You create a class of structure to discover variables you want to store in your JSON data, for example. There's an int, there's a float, and there's a string. This defines a plain C# class. Serializable, so it's going to show up in the inspector. Right? So let's try this out for a brief moment. Info texts. There is nothing showing up in the inspector. So if we were to believe this thing, this Unity manual, if we put a serializable in front, then that already would do something. We're not sure, let's see. No, we're not allowed. Serializer could not be found. Are you missing a user directive? This is probably just an error. Yeah, we need to capitalize. And when we say error, we mean user error. We need to capitalize, and it's not working, right? Serializable. Are we too dumb for this? Serializable. Lizable? Serializable. Serializable. Serializable.
You better hone your skills.
You better hone the skills. This version of Unity is unsupported, by the way. And the reason this doesn't work is the serializable is not in there, probably. Maybe if we... Oh, this is a mono behavior. Unity engine. Better hone your skills, I know. So this doesn't do anything for my class. Rough. Maybe we're just missing a package. Let's find out. Unity serializable. Scripting API. Unity system, Unity engine. Unity system, Unity engine. Do we have this? Unity system, Unity engine. We don't have the system in. Alright. No big deal. That's all that it takes. I don't know if it works. Let's see. Reloading, compiling, whoop, and immediately it works. Now that we're serializable, we still cannot access any of it. Genius. Character skip by serialization, missing the serializer attribute. Player input warning, field buttons dictionary uses unsupported type. Player input buttons dictionary uses an unsupported type. Really? So that completely just did not work. Which is fine. Let's go back to what it was. And also check out these, if there are any warnings. Skip by serialization. Eh? Same stuff, even though we removed the serialization. Weird. So we don't understand any of this. In other words. Good, let's read the manual then a little bit further. Serializable. What does this do? Indicates that a class that can be serialized. But serializable attribute. For more information, see. This attribute is not required for classes that derive from serialized unit class such as mono behavior. So it's not necessary there, simply. Good. Additional resources. Non-serialized. Serialized references. Following example creates a custom player stats struct. But you just said you don't need it if you inherit from mono behavior. That's why we don't like the manual. It doesn't make any sense. Following example creates a bonus which makes it serialized. It then creates a private field for player stats. Private serialized field attribute to make it show up in the inspector. Serializable field. Serialize field. Wonder if we can then have in the inspector all the stuff and then immediately write in the inspector, which is just open it up, man. There's no need for this. Hey, wait a minute. We have a style error. Good, doesn't matter. So that is nothing. Let's go back to the JSON serialization. See if we can learn something there. This contains a class containing 3 variables. Left of them marks it with a serializable attribute. In order to work with the JSON serializer, and the version of Unity is unsupported. Let's go to 6.5 then. Good, and search the manual for JSON. JSON serialize provides the JSON lets you serialize Unity objects to JSON format. JSON serialization. Let's keep it very general. JSON utility class. Use the JSON utility class to convert Unity objects to and from JSON. This defines a plain zero containing 3 variables. In order to create an instance of your class, you can use something like this. Dr. Charles Francis. Then use a JSON utility to JSON method to serialize it, convert it to the JSON format. JSON now contains. Really? To convert the JSON back into an object, use JSON utility from JSON. Right. So we can put all this stuff into a JSON file like this, then convert it back. But what is gained by this? That's the question. You can also deserialize JSON data over an existing, which overrides any existing data. From JSON override if the JSON doesn't contain keep allocation minimum by reason to previously does it to patch up to particular override that only contains a small subset of fields. This is extremely useful, you just notice. Because then you could do something like have all your written text in a JSON file, and if you want to change the written stuff in your game, you have to patch only the JSON files, because the game inside of the code converts the JSON into the code, which is very, very good. So we don't need to do this now, but when the game is running. So that means we don't have to waste time with this. For now. We will have to, though, if you want this game run and get updated proper. So better stay organized here. Good, so we know this now. Is there anything else? Is there anything else we need to do? Yes, just everything. Well, we did start with this rudimentary character sheet. Assets, editor, scenes, drop down, ground, skybox. Do not have anything. Here's just some arrays. Prefabs, drop down container, button, boxes, untitled, something. What is this? This is just a box. Good. Oh no, we closed the Hitman decals. New buttons down. That's what we try to do. Label button variant box. Keyboard key. Box. Big vertical. DNA style. Parchment. So where do we go from here? This is so overwhelming. What we did not like was this was the font. And we did write an editor tool, I think. Clear player prefs. Did we write this as well? I think we did. Window. Window TextMesh Pro. We don't have TextMesh Pro. We're not using this. We hate it. Simple word material texture user interface. What did this guy add into? Oh yeah, the motions we haven't used yet. Let's put it in a different folder so we don't have to look at it all the time. Create a folder 3D. Good. Yeah, you're gonna rewrite everything. What do we have in the editor? New font in all container text. Public game object continue menu item tools, clear player prefs. Ah, we meant to. Ah, this is where we stopped. Yeah. Let's look at this then. New font in all container text editor. Public game object container. Put something in there. New menu option, player prefs, delete all. Oh, so this is what happens if we click this. Yes, the player preferences get deleted. But how do we reach this container? Public void pop. Get components into text. And then we switch the font. Oh yeah, we meant to give it a wizard or something. Which would be reasonable. And then you run through all the children and switch the font out. Just to see how it looks. Because we're certainly not going to do this manually. Wait a minute. We are already doing this mid-game. Maybe we can use the code there. But how do you make a wizard? Editor wizard. Configure Unity accelerator. Asynchronous shader compilation. Edit diagnostics. Yeah, the search function doesn't work inside the documentation. Unity editor wizard. Scriptable visit. Oh no, that's in the asset store. Script visit, asset store. Scriptable visit. Direct creation editor visit. Yes, thank you. Ah. Derive from this class to create an editor visit. Editor visits are typically opened using a menu item. Public class are deriving from the scriptable visit using the editor and the engine. Oops. Editor and engine. Editor, engine, collections, user interface. Scriptable visit. Start with a new menu option. We click this and delete all player prefabs or not. Good, let's see how it goes. And it should open a visit now. Except it does not. Probably because the wizard is not defined. Good. Range, color, menu item. What is this? Static void create visit. Ah, because we need to create a visit. Reasonable. Menu item. And then on visit create. On visit update. Alright, let's look at this guy then. Yeah, let's look at them. Whoops. Move back up. Is this all? Yep. Copy. Want to keep this though. Public class. Wizard create light. Scriptable wizard. You do all your thing. And can we give you more stuff? Yes, let's just give you more stuff. Can give you this. Right, public game object, container. And I can give you all texts. Good. On visit update. On visit other button. Yeah, we can give you a text array. Cause why not? And then there is a pop on visit other button. The pop will pop it. And this is done then. And this menu action we don't need. Good. This is gonna take forever and this is why it's never gonna finish. Good. Anyways, have we saved this? Yes. So did you do it? Expect a derp brush. New font in all scriptable visit. Good. Public class is done. This is all no longer needed. Let's see. Dun, dun. See what the wizard looks like. Cannot find them. Cannot find them. Where are you? Game object create light wizard. Alright, game object create light wizard. Ah, there's a wizard. Color container. Ah. Text. Ah. Good. Container arranged. Other button. Other button says apply and then create. And then creates a light, which we don't need. Color container. So this should give us a font and a size. Good. Apply, create. Which one is apply? Which one is create? Maybe we need to read the manual a little bit more. Edit a visitor of using a menu item. Also, we need to rename this stuff. Game object create license. It's not game object. What if we give it the name tools? Will it then work out of the box and create a tools item here? It does. Man, Unity is great. Good. And we're gonna call it replace font. Replace font. Good. Gonna click tools, we're gonna click replace font, and then it says please set the color of the light, which is of course dum-dum. We're going to tell it to display wizard create light. Oh, that's the name of it. Font replacer. Copy. Class. Font replacer. Good. Create light. Oh, where was this? Create apply. If you don't want to use the secondary button, simply leave it out. We just want to replace, right? We leave out the secondary button. And we're gonna call it replace. And this is not create light, this is font replacement. Meant. If you don't description option display create. Yeah, you understand. It's not rocket science. Good. Static void create wizard. Now this is code we wrote. Haha. Good. On wizard create, go new light. Create. On wizard create, that's the first button. Create is the first button. On wizard apply is the second button. We don't know. Because the second button is... Oh no, it's on wizard other button. Ah. On wizard button is called selection, active transform, light, color red. Don't need this. When the user presses apply, other button is called... I'll tell you what, we're gonna leave it in. Good. It's the apply button. I don't know. How do we make this readable for if we want to change this up ever? Button on wizard other button is called on wizard other button. Good. On wizard create, on wizard update. Please set the color of the light. Ah, this is in the update. Good. Fill out the fields. On wizard update. A little bit of a help there. Good. On wizard create. This is the first button. New game object we don't need. Also don't need color or range. The text string is local. And on create we're going to instead container get components in children that are of a text. Wait a minute, what? This is a text array. Let's see if it works. And then we're going to iterate over the array. Probably don't need the pop, but let's leave it in for a moment. Good. So on the wizard create, we're going to whoop. Get components and children text. Good. Components and children. That should give us all the text from the container. And then we kind of want to debug the log. Hopefully it's not gonna return an error. Grabbed. Just for the moment before we put a variable inside of there. So we have the container on the wizard create. On the replacement button, we're gonna grab everything text-wise from any container which we want to replace. Good. We should actually fill out the fields. Nah, this is not a real help text. Takes all children from container and replaces text components. Actually, replaces text components and takes out children from container and replaces. It doesn't even replace and replaces fonts. But we need the text components to do this, and that's why we have this text array locally. Good. What mistake did we make now? We left the wizard open. Tools, replace font. Takes all children from container and replaces fonts. Container, whoop. Script new font in all container text. The heck is this, by the way? New font in all container texts. That should be a replace font tool. Replace font tool. Good. Reload domain. Hold on. Importing assets. Look at this again. Doesn't keep the file. Nope. Wonderful. Yeah, and like this, we can sit here for hours and hours. This is a 3/4 hour, and we haven't done anything. But we look at this font. It just doesn't look good. We want to replace it. Good. Text. Let's go back to Unity. Do we have to? Go back to Unity manual, I mean. Info texts. Because I think we did do this when we switch out the race. Non-monoscripts. This is a monoscript. Simple world material texture. Simple world material texture. The heck is this? This project is a mess. Let's be honest here. Anyways, we infinite maybe it's in the God object script. Load save file if none is found, no active character in it, create character. Ah, yeah. So this is actually to do. Can we not have? Yeah, to do is bright and green, let's say. Good. And the other green is don't remove character during second this method called to avoid ID duplication. Wow! This is already super duper complicated. New character ID. Character created. Debug character was created. Long term subject expected total seconds. The current Unix timestamp is that's a unique character ID. Not bad. Not bad. Whoever coded this, it was us. We coded this. Notice character. The start method. Why have we left this? This is our code. Why have we left this in the default style? Good. The God object script doesn't hold anything here for some reason. So what we will do instead is look into the UI. Select any entry, player input, select any entry. UI control, select any entry, maybe here. Start it up. Display info. Close drop down on pointer enter. Selected object, close drop down, display info true, on pointer exit. On select, start coroutine, animate entry. On deselect, start coroutine, animate entry false. This is all basic text animation. Info text companion, display info. Show, animate the entry, reset position. Get the guard object. Get the UI control. This is select any entry. So, this is just for selecting any entry. We could have guessed this actually. Good, so the UI control then. Where is it here? Good, this is more of a wall of code, which is not great. Go transitor, go to object, color list, add. Yeah, this is for colors. Force pick. Yeah, force pick. This is where we were left. Boxes interactable, schedule image PNG. Image is found dynamically change color. Should edit script change the image material. Change speed. Game object interactables. Maybe in the buttons? This is just the control. If this is the control, where is the user input? Player input. Huh. Good. Game object may use the keyboard default buttons are using component user info control. Good. Wait one frame. To iterate through all keybinds. Keybinds, huh? We're thinking about keybinds. Get values from player prefs and cast into a keycode in order to insert into dictionary. This was our idea of a keybind system. Save binds, buttons, player pref save, which we deleted by the way. Menu, get key down, get mouse, menu back. Ah yeah, this is menu back. Set active. Good. Set active, active self. Character sheet set active. Does it select deselect, is it? Not sure. If in menu and press controller button circle. Are there any chunk keybinds? Says a fat cat. Are there any chunk keybinds? We don't even know how the keybind system works. It's been too long. We need to work on this every day in order to know what everything does. And then if we haven't worked on the system for a long time, we will forget there as well. So it's rough. That's why we're never going to get anything done. This is super complicated. Everything here is amazingly complicated. You have to do this every day. Every day for at least an hour in order to get anything done. Right now we're trying to find out where the code is for when we click something, especially the race, because if we click here on a race, then everything changes, including the font of some items. We want to know where that code is, because then we can just copy paste the code. We could also just know how to do it and write it here from memory. In the replace font tool, we could say where is it? Replace font, create wizard, on wizard create. Here. Container get component insurance text. So now we have all text components. Now we could go from the this is for and then we do it's a for loop. And we're gonna start with 0 and then we're gonna, as long as the int I is smaller than the count of count in the texts count, because this is how many are in that array. As long as I is smaller, we're going to do the stuff, and then we're going to do I++. And this is how you have then a loop in there. It's not going to work because we don't know how to count the elements in an array, and that's why we meant to copy paste. And here's the error. Count. There is no count. How do you count the arrays? And then we would look it up again and again. We would simply like to just copy paste instead of looking up everything a million times. So hopefully that answers your question. God objects with UI control player input. What the heck is this, man? Maybe we have a different thingy here? Label texts, info text, label text. What do you do? Get component, label texts, add, transform, get component text. Label text, add. So this subscribes. This subscribes to this is a subscription code. Very good. Very good. You slap this on any label, and then in the UI control, label texts, we have what we need. We're very close now. Label texts, good. And who calls this? Who wants to use this? We'll find out. Label text, find in all open documents. It's just in here. Is the user, yeah, it's just in those. So we haven't opened the thing that uses it yet. So it must be here somewhere. Drop down proper. Maybe. Let's find out. And search for it again. Let's just find it here. Huh? Using, not using. Label text, right? Texts. There, exactly. Count. One match. Good. So here and there is the iteration for each. It's an for each text component, and that's a bit better. Should it not be better? Yes. For each is better than the regular for loop. But because we love to learn, C# get number of items in array. How to count elements in C# array. This is such a noob question. Maybe it already tells you here. Yeah, it already counts you here. Huh? No, it does not. How to count? Count. And then you enter the array. Let's see, just out of curiosity, if this code would work then. Replace font, derp. Count. Texts and array, I suppose. We have to make clear this is an array. Do we have to? See, we don't know. That's the thing. Syntax error. Value expected. No? The name count does not exist. Alright. Unity for count array items. It's the dumbest thing because normally you know the amount, but if it's so dynamic, then you don't. Array length, there we go. Or if it is an array list, huh? What do you mean? Array length. Let's find out. Array length. Good. Doesn't. Text does not contain a definition for length. What? What? Syntax error. Yeah, we just don't know. Would like to know though. Texts. Get components and show them. So text is an array. And we want to know the length of the array. So how the heck did this not work? This answer is garbage. Array class, use a bup. Add, clear, conquer, join, pop, push, remove, shift, sort, unshift. Length. The length property that returns or sets the number of returns or sets length. The length property. Can we get an example? Array count. And then they use count. That's funny. And they use the upper class here. They use the capitalization. That's so funny. Except it's not. Good, let's see. Of course this did work. Debug log grabbed. And then we want to know how many items. Grabbed plus text length. Copy. Paste. And grabbed such and such items. Good. And then we're going to do something with it. Get components and children text to container. We're going to pop the container in. For example, this container here. Tools, replace font. Canvas, character sheet. Parchment, interactable elements, name input generates, figurative info box, stats. Let's take the stats container and replace. Grab 25 items. So there are 25 items in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Huh? I suppose this. 22. Huh? How's this 25 items? Good. These are text elements. So stands to reason. We can get the name. Oh, can we get the name? That's simple. Debug log. Grabbed. Items and debug log the name there for each bub. For each bub. We should do for each bub, not for int blah blah blah. Let's do it like this. It doesn't matter. We want to do it like this to learn how to use the for int loop. Debug log grab gonna say I did it. Gonna take log texts that thing, put its name and this could be at the start and not at the end, but who cares? Good. Let's grab the stats container again in our tool. Just to see what happens. Grab 25 items. Body, strength, dex, fit, spacer. Spacer? The heck? is a text element, I suppose. Can change the font there. It doesn't matter because the space is interesting. Where is the stats? Layout, horizontal font size correction, label, text element stats, vertical layout, spacer, text, font. Yeah, you have a font. So we can replace it without hurting ourselves. Good. And we probably do when we mess with the labels there. Speaking of labels, there's a label inside. One that we probably don't want to switch out. Good thing we called all the labels label. Because it's going to say your name is label. And by that criteria, we can exclude it from the replacement. Except we don't see it. Is the label outside of the stats box? Stats is here. No, the label is inside. But it's just an image. And then it says text element stats. Should be all the way down here. Yep. Text element stats. So this would be bad then to replace. We need to give it something like a layer. Good question. But we've been over an hour and we haven't achieved anything. But that's fine. Because we need to make ourselves some food now and then it's time for other things. So we're going to say thank you for watching. Thanks for chiming in. Don't forget the 500 archives where you can listen to all of this blabber. And I'm going to see you next time. Hope you have a great overtime time, Fat Cat. And you have a good one. Until then, have a good day and a good night.